and I went to sit down, and the cramps just shot up through my, like the spasms shot up through my legs so quickly, like I jumped up like.
Wow. All right. Hey, guys, this is Brandon McCaskill. Welcome to the Safari Arie Road Show. We got Arie here with us. We're just going to ask him what's new. Give us a little update of where he's at. So, Arie, how's it going?
Well, actually, so completely before I go into what's going on, what's new, as far as, where I am and all that kind of great stuff. A shout out to you for a great video that you just produced and put out, our latest documentary video, Manitoba to Calgary. So the Prairies to Badlands documentary. So that was from when I was biking last summer across that area. We just released that documentary video on YouTube, and finally, it's better late than never. But I just want to do a shout out to please check that video out. It's actually really cool. I mean, because most people think of that area as a pretty boring part of the world as far as Canada goes, but I think you'll enjoy it. It was really well done, and you may even notice the voice in the music, and it's not me.
Not me.
I'm just kidding. Someone who's on our current video right now, between me and you, someone did the music.
Someone a part of the Safari Arie staff.
Yeah. So anyways, check that video out because I think you'll really enjoy it. It's Prairies to Badlands from when I biked across that area last summer. So please check that out as soon as you're done watching this.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
so anyways, so back to where I am.
Yeah.
And where I am is actually rather deceiving because right now I have like this palm tree behind me. So I have this really attractive background. And yesterday, what's that?
Looks like you're at a resort.
Yeah, it looks like I'm at a resort. And then yesterday I was able to get a shower, so I'm actually pretty cleaned up. And so the truth of the matter is what you're looking at is actually very, very deceiving compared to what things have been over the last week or two. Things have probably been the toughest they have kind of ever been in many ways. When we spoke last time, I was just about to leave the Grand Canyon, the South Rim. And so basically I knew when I had this anticipation. I didn't think it was going to be as bad as it was. There's aspects where it was like even way worse than I anticipated, but I made my way south to Williams and then west to Bullhead City. And that was when everything just kind of like hit the roof. Basically, I went from reasonable temperatures to 107 plus Celsius, 107 to 110 Fahrenheit. So that's like 42, 43, 44, who knows what.
Yeah.
And so, oh my goodness, it hit me really hard. And so from Bullhead City, I made my way south to there's a car that is parked right beside me for no good reason, and their fan is running and it's completely distracting me, and it's like, really, of all the places in this parking lot? Sorry. Oh my goodness. Anyways, so I made my way to Bullhead City. The heat it hit me really hard.
Yeah.
And I got kind of nervous pretty quickly. I made my way south to Lake Havasu City. There was another truck stop there. I grabbed another shower. I've actually been spending quite a bit of time in various truck stops, just trying to get out of the heat. Anyways, when I left Lake Havasu City, I made my way to Parker. And I mean, that's it. Like, that's the thing is, like, I have been like literally not even setting up my tent at night. So exhausted, just my sleeping pad under the stars, like I got into Parker and like, okay, I went to use the washroom and I went to sit down and the cramps just shot up through my, like the spasms shot up through my legs so quickly. Like I jumped up like,
wow.
It was just,
I hate that.
like, oh yeah, no, yeah, as if that happens to other people. But I mean, I was walking through the Walmart, bent over, leaning against shelves, trying to massage the cramps out of my legs.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I honestly, getting to Parker, I thought I was going to die.
Now, are cramps a sign of dehydration? Is that right?
It's a combination of dehydration, a combination of lack of magnesium.
Right.
That's kind of an electrolyte imbalance. That's the kind of the three main factors. And I have been taking magnesium regularly, and I've tried to add to electrolytes, kind of deal. But it just, it like, so I got into Parker, like, and I just, like, honestly, I thought I was going to die. Like, there's just no escape from the sun and the heat, and that's the thing is you're completely parched, and it's like 110, and you know how hot your water is, like in your liquids, like it's actually, like, that's the thing is water's supposed to quench your thirst. Do you know how disgusting water tastes when it's been sitting in 110 all day?
Yeah. Oh
my goodness, it's just, it's actually been really tough. Right. I'm adjusting my route. I was supposed to go basically from Parker to Joshua Tree to that national park, and it's like I can't, like, in order for me to go to Joshua Tree, an ambulance would have to take me, and I don't think they'd actually go through the park. No. So basically, I'm trying to just beeline it to the Mexican border. Yeah. Actually in Parker, like, I actually got, and that was the other thing. So when I was in Parker, like, the next day I wasn't feeling too bad, but I knew, because of how bad I did feel the day before, I knew that there was just, like, to get back on the road right away would have been suicide. And so I took a day, and then I also actually set up an appointment for my second shot for COVID. Because that's the other thing is so while I was in Parker, I got my second and final shot for my vaccine. And so I stayed in Parker for the afternoon because, like I said, it was hitting 110, and I left Parker in the evening, and the vaccine, getting the needle, took its effect on me at the same time. I basically biked from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. in the dark to get, to avoid, like, the heat. Yeah. And then, of course, I get out of town and there's no shoulder, so I kept having to go off the highway whenever a vehicle came. But my arm was super tender. I was nauseous from the needle. I was weak from not really eating. I got 40 kilometers, and I had to drag my bike off the road. Like, I couldn't be too close to the road or people would think a cyclist actually died. Yeah. But I dragged my bike off the road in the soft sand. I didn't even set up my sleeping pad. I just put my tarp, my sleeping, or my tent footprint on the sand. Yeah. And I just collapsed. I didn't even take my boots off. Gee. Like, I just collapsed. And the sun usually wakes you up at 7 a.m. or earlier. And I made my way here yesterday. I'm in, where am I? Edinburgh, I think it is. It's near Blythe. Like, literally, I forgot now. I'm literally a mile down the road is the California border. Okay. And so what I have in front of me basically is, there's some built up area, like, not built up. I think there's like a grocery store like 20 miles down the road. And then I have like 100 kilometers. It's funny, I'm going miles to kilometers. I think there's a grocery store about 20 miles down the road. And then I have like 100 kilometer stretch of no gas stations, no groceries. So there's like no chance of cold water relief. Yeah. And so I have to tackle that. And that gets me to the Mexican border.
So your water situation, is it like, do you go to the store and get like frozen stuff so that it thaws, or is it always just warm stuff?
Well, you don't like grocery stores don't sell frozen water.
Well, I mean, like
Yeah.
getting like, I think you can get like ice packs that are, can't you get them that are already frozen? Or even if you got some frozen veggies or something just to hold against your water inside your pack.
Yeah, I never really thought about getting frozen veggies, but in 110 degrees, I don't know, like
Well, your
that means
veggies
you're
would be cooked by the time you
like,
get.
yeah, you would be amazed at how many things I find in my bags that are
Yeah.
just mush because of the heat. Like it's just, I mean, specifically as a Canadian, you know, and like you're Canadian, of course, like you can't really appreciate what 110 Fahrenheit actually feels like
No.
or does to anything like your stuff. I mean, I have these electrolyte tablets.
Yeah.
And the whole package is complete. They're all they like. I mean, they're tablets, so they're already dry. They're seed, like they're stuck in the container because the heat.
Yeah.
Like how to like it's I don't know how people live down here in the Southwest in the summer. And the thing is I like the heat as much as anyone else. I love the heat. But this is just killing me. It really is. And so I just, so my goal is just to get south as quickly as I can possibly get out of this.
And when you hit the hay at night, are you actually getting quality sleep, or is it like a few hours here and there?
Actually, it's not that bad, believe it or not. And it's kind of funny because like literally I actually set up my tent because I'm feeling actually not bad. Like my arm is actually still very tender. Like 2 days later, like I can't sleep on this on my left shoulder. I try like last night. I tried. It was like, oh no. So my arm is still tender. But strangely, believe it or not, well, I don't know if it's just pure exhaustion, but I am actually sleeping fairly well. It's just not long enough, kind of deal. So yeah, and like I said, like last night I set up my tent. But like when I was in Parker, there was this wall behind the Walmart parking lot, and I just went back there behind a shrub. I mean, that was the weird, and that's the thing is like those nights I actually did do my sleep. I put my sleeping pad out because the ground was very hard. But it's like I'm just sleeping on the sleeping pad beside my bike, and it's like, and I'm like behind this Walmart in the desert, and it's like 30 minutes later, it's like I can actually hear people walking by. And then there's a vehicle like it's in the middle of the desert, like, and there's a vehicle driving by. Yeah. And I'm just sleeping right on the ground. And then the next, like, cause I actually spent 2 nights literally at the same spot. Yeah. And the next morning at like 5 in the morning, this minivan just is driving in the desert. She like drove right up to me. She's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, yeah. I'm just, I'm on a bike trip kind of deal. But this minivan drives up to me. Like it's so crazy how you think of these places like, oh, nobody goes back there or nobody's and it's like the amount of times I've had that on my bike ride where I've been in the middle of nowhere and people just walk by as if they've been living there their whole lives. And it's like, and it's a little bit of a head trip because you're just lying there in your tent, or like I said, I was just lying there on the ground. Yeah. And I could hear people's voices walking past me in the desert. And I'm like, this is like part of this last week or two, it's just kind of been this head trip of like, how did you get yourself in this place? Like the decisions you made to be here, like, like there's a reality in my head. I don't know. Like, I'm not going crazy. At least I don't think I am, but it's just, they're just, I don't know. It's just been bizarre. But anyways, yeah.
All right. Well, make us a prediction. Where do you think you'll be the next time we talk?
Well, I'm definitely hoping in Mexico. It's funny because the thing is like I was under the impression that the Mexico border is actually pretty busy, and then I was like Googling, and it's like telling me how it's still closed. So I don't even know actually. Like, I'm actually hoping to be in Mexico in like 3 days, maybe. Okay. Like that's how quickly I'm trying to beeline it out of here. Because it's been very expensive for me because I've been stuck in these truck stops, right? You know, paying for restaurant food kind of deal. Yeah. And so my food budget literally went like, because I spend about, I have been actually, because I keep track of the numbers, I spend about $12 to $13 an average a day is usually what my food, and that includes drink, and like soft drinks and you know, usually I don't have to buy water, but like basically my meal budget, or not my budget, because I just try to be as cheap as possible, but basically what the average sort of works out to is usually I've noticed that I'm spending between $12 and $13 a day on groceries and food and the occasional McDonald's when I come into a city kind of deal. But basically but since but my Arizona budget, and partially was also buying groceries around the Grand Canyon, which is like outrageously expensive, but basically my Arizona average has gone so I've gone from 12 to 13 up to $20 a day. So it's like I have to get the heck out of here and start living off of pesos instead of American dollars. So I actually am hoping to be in Mexico in 3 days, and hopefully there won't be any issues. I don't like, even with because the thing is, I'm a vaccinated Canadian. So Mexico has no reason not to let me in. So I don't think I'll have a problem, but I'm hoping to be in Mexico in like 3 or 4 days and just try to escape this desert heat. Even though that's the other thing, is going down the Baja, it's desert heat once again, but I think it seems like that the Baja is about 100 degrees. And so once again, from the 110 to 100, I'm hoping that it makes a huge difference as far as how I'm reacting. Cause it's been really tough and hard.
Awesome. Cool. Well, we hope you, there's no troubles at the borders, and look forward to the next time we talk. Thank you guys for joining, and we'll catch you in the next episode of Safari Arie.
And please subscribe.
Take care.